Welcome to the Wisconsin State Fair. Today is Roundy's Day, and we have with us Rick Blair, who is a manager of the Deli Bakery division, I believe it's called, of Roundy's. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
What would you like to tell our audience regarding your position with Roundy's?
My position with Roundy's is basically I'm in charge of the in-store bakery programs for all the Roundy stores and Roundy affiliated members. Any store that is putting an in-store bakery or thinking about putting one in their operation, I in a consultant capacity of putting in their bakery department and instruct them on the proper operations of their bakeries.
I see. Do you go to many stores then? Is that it?
Yes, we have approximately 55 bakeries in the in-store bakeries in the Roundy's organization.
Mm-hmm. Basically, you deal with many other people rather than just the store managers or the people in...
Yeah, the bakery managers, store managers, and all the bakery personnel.
Mm-hmm. Now, this morning we had an event that I guess had never been held before. The world's, at least they call it now, the world's largest coffee cake. And that was cut this morning, am I correct?
Yes, it was cut this morning at approximately 9 p.m. The coffee cake was 32 feet long and 4 feet wide. To best of our knowledge, it is the largest coffee cake in the state of Wisconsin. It fed 5,400 people. We're going to be registering with the Guinness Book of Records to see if it holds up as the largest coffee cake in the world.
Well, as they say, we have that on tape. We're going to go back to that and ask you to explain a little bit about it at a later date. We're not going to go there right now. But how did the idea originate for the coffee cake and displaying it at State Fair?
Well, Roundy's, the people of the communities and people of the state of Wisconsin have done a lot for Roundy's over the years. And Roundy's had decided to do something for the people in Wisconsin to putting together the Roundy's Food Day. And what better way to tie in than with the bakeries? Roundy is very strong feeling that bakery is a strong part of the supermarket industry. So we sat down and decided what we could do, and we came with a coffee cake, something to give away for the people to enjoy while they're here at the State Fair.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wasn't there this morning, but I wonder, is it the coffee cake that normally a person would buy, or was it something special about the ingredients?
No, it was the same coffee cake that you would buy in any of the Roundy stores. It was just on a larger scale.
Mm-hmm. So, and then what, well, I guess we get to that later, but how was it received? You know, how was this large coffee cake received by the people?
Very well. There were approximately 100 people there this morning at 9 o'clock when we did the cutting. The response was just tremendous. Mm-hmm. At about 12:30, the 5,400 pieces were giving away. So in approximately 3.5 hours, 5,400 people got to try the sample of the coffee cake.
Oh, it was a giveaway deal.
Yes,
I see. So that's something different also. We don't get too many of those things happening here. But do you intend to go into that, or have you even thought about it at other locations or other positions?
We've done that coffee cake on a smaller scale, whether it be in a grand opening of a store or in a bakery smorgasbord where we give away samples of a lot of products to the consumer. But this is the first time we've done anything on this big of a scale.
Mm-hmm. How many of your other employees became involved directly in the preparation and the events surrounding the coffee cake today?
Well, there were 3 of us that were here at 3 o'clock this morning, assembling the coffee cake, icing it, and doing the finishing touches to have it prepared for the 9 o'clock cutting.
Mm-hmm. Now, you're in the deli bakery field. Are there any changes that have come about, say, well, since you've been involved? You surely can't been involved in many years, from the look of you, but since you've been involved in it, has there been much change in the bakery deli as far as the retail part of it is concerned?
Yes, I think that the consumer is more aware of quality in the bakeries and the deli departments than they were in past years. Being affiliated with bakeries for 17 years, I've seen quite a change from basically just selling donuts in a bakery department to now into coffee cakes and torts and the fancier breads. The consumer is more aware of quality and ingredients than they ever have been.
Do you ever have a way of finding out what the customers actually think about your product?
Yes, we do market surveys in our stores where the consumers respond to what they think of our grocery stores, the various departments of the stores, what they like and what they don't like. We evaluate those and make changes in our departments accordingly to please the consumer.
Mm-hmm. Is this sometimes made possibly on the the quantity or size of what's being offered, or is it usually just on a quality basis?
All three, I would say. We try to listen to people and what they want. If we're making things in large packages and the consumer wants it smaller, we listen to that. On the same token, maybe we're in an area where there's a lot of large families and we need to have bigger family pack sizes of items in our bakery departments.
Well, that sure fits in. Well, Rick, we're going to go to the tape that was produced earlier in the day, and since you're the expert on that, we're going to ask you to talk a little over the tape, if you would, and I'll try to join in, and if I could have had a bite of it, I maybe could have added something more, but I didn't. So I'll take it as well as I can, but you're the star of this part of it. So here we go.
Basically, from the one end to that's the 32-foot length of the coffee cake. We open up this morning with an introduction, explaining a little bit to the people as to what we did and the coffee cake and how we got it assembled and things like that. We had Miss Dairyland and the other park people were there, along with Jack Holler, the president of Roundy's. This was done with affiliation with the J.W. Allen Company, who is the bakery supplier for the Roundy stores. Jim Gribben, the gentleman on the left, is the vice president of J.W. Allen Company, and he assisted in the cutting. Basically, what you're seeing is the portions that size we're giving out to everyone that came through the park.
Oh, yes. Looks like a nice-sized piece of cake.
It was approximately a 1-ounce portion. It's about a 1-by-1 square. And there we see the people coming up, and that was instantly when I said it's time for the coffee cake. People just came up in droves for the coffee cake. It was 9 o'clock in the morning, so everybody wanted breakfast, I guess. Again, there's the sizes, the samples we gave to the people. Feeling it was 9 o'clock in the morning and people were ready for breakfast, we gave them something they could bite into.
I believe so. That was a good... Now, did any come back for seconds, or were there enough for...
I don't know. If they had to come back for seconds, they had to wait in line because there was quite a long line all the time. There's the ingredients. 300 pounds of dough, the 65 pounds of filling, 120 pounds of topping, the icings. Weight 547 pounds and serves 5,400 people.
And they all showed up, huh?
I believe so. That was the banner that was overhead on top of the cake itself. And there you see the people waiting in line.
Oh, there's somebody, too. He looks like one of our programmers. No, I guess it wasn't. Looked like him there for a minute.
There's Allis and Dairyland. They were doing the sampling most of the morning. There's a happy consumer biting into a coffee cake.
Right.
That's Jim Popke's wife from Roundy's. She'll be happy to see that.
I don't know that fella.
No.
This guy looks like he had 2 pieces. You said no one got 2 pieces here.
Looks like somebody might have, huh?
Yeah, they're going back to it.
Again, the response was just tremendous. At that time of the morning, there were just a lot of people here ready to take part in it.
Well, I don't think we ever had anything like this at State Fair. I've been coming here a number of years. And I guess that's the first time that we had something like that, a breakfast roll distributed or baked for us. They all seem happy.
I don't see any sad faces, that's for sure.
Okay. Of course, the main thing is just to see the people that are enjoying it, you know, and well, there. Come back, right? You mean to say that we're all through with that coffee cake already? I thought we were going to enjoy that a little bit longer. My goodness, I have to go to a different note here. You surprised me because that at this time we were going to talk additionally about the cake, I guess, the coffee cake. But anything else you would like to tell us about that?
Well, it's just that when we do something like that in the stores, we usually have on sale at the time coffee cakes, just like the big one, only in a smaller quality, so the consumer can enjoy a sample and at the same time take some home. And we're hoping that will overflow with this coffee cake. Being there's a quality, makes some people aware of the quality of the bakery products at our Roundy's stores.
Sure. Well, I guess Roundy's means quality, or they wouldn't be as as many of them as there are, and to continue to be there and to continue to grow. I guess the growing is the name of the ball game.
I've been with Roundy's approximately 2.5 years, and there hasn't been a store remodeled or built that we haven't put an in-store bakery in the past 2.5 years.
Right. Well, Rick, I guess we come to the end of that part of it too. So we've been talking with Rick Blair from Roundy's. I appreciate him taking the time out of his busy day to be here, and I hope he'll be back again some other time.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Rick. Well, we're here at Roundy's Days at State Fair Park, and I have with me Mr. Jack Holroff, president of Roundy's. And first I'd like to ask you, Jack, this is the first year you've been at State Fair, and I wonder what the reason is. Why are you here now for the first time?
Yes, well, it is the first time that we've participated in Food Day at the fair. As a matter of fact, it's the first time that the Wisconsin State Fair has had a Food Day. We look at it as a way in which we can say thank you to the many customers that we have across the state. Roundy's is being the largest wholesaler in the state of Wisconsin, supplies some 300 supermarkets across the state, and therefore we have thousands of customers that we want to say thank you to. And what better way to do it than at a state fair?
Well, I think that's a nice way of doing it, and I think the people appreciate the number of events that you've scheduled for this year. Where's Roundy's located? Where's the headquarters?
Our headquarters are located in Pewaukee. Our main warehouse is in Wauwatosa. But we do have, you're right, we do have many events scheduled today. Began this morning with the world's largest coffee cake, of which we understand is almost 2/3 gone at this point. And it continued with Chef Tell coming here to our booth in the Family Center, where he signed autographs, and later on we'll give cooking demonstrations.
Yes. Well, now there are, as you say, you mentioned many outlets in the state of Wisconsin. Are some of the people from the other areas participating in this with you?
Yes, our retail stores tied in with a promotion in their stores. We were promoting free carload passes for their customers to be able to bring a carload of people into the fair.
That's excellent.
Many of them participated in their local county fairs. As a matter of fact, one of our retailers in the Milwaukee area last night purchased the championship steer, 4-H steer, and has done so for the last 7 out of 9 years. And he uses that as a way to say thank you to his customers and also to promote prime beef in his store.
Well, it's quite obvious that your organization has come a long way and very much interested in Milwaukee and the state of Wisconsin. But I know that you're quite busy with the functions that you have here. Is there anything else you would like to say to our audience before you cut away?
Well, we would like to personally, and I would like to personally thank the people of Wisconsin and Milwaukee for their participation and for their business in our stores. And we would invite them to come out to this food day, and if they weren't able to make it in the year of '85, certainly they should come out in '86, because we look at this as a very fine activity and a very good way for us to say thank you, and we'd like them to come out and participate in '86.
Well, fine. I think that's very, very good way of putting it. And Jack, we appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule. And with that, this is Jimmy Ryan saying so long for myself and Jack Holroff, president of Roundy's. Well, we're back on the set. We have Jim Popke with us. He's the retail counselor for Roundy's. Welcome, Jim.
Yes, thank you. It's nice to be here.
And just retail counselor is a word that needs a little explanation. I wonder if you would tell our audience just what your position has you do.
Okay, basically, Jimmy, I consult independent retail grocers in the state of Wisconsin in various ways of making operations, advertising, personnel decisions. My particular retailers include some of the Bernstead stores, which is located in the western side of the state, the Woodman stores out of Madison and Janesville, Beloit. Roundy's basically has about 225 of these stores located in both the northern division and the Southern Division, which is right here in Milwaukee.
I see. Now you also are in that position. You became the coordinator between Roundy's and the state fair officials in arranging for the activity today at the fair. And I suppose that just took like maybe 2 or 3 days, and you had it out?
2 or 3 days this week.
Oh, this week.
We basically started last April, and the idea came to us that we'd like to do something for the state of Wisconsin, and what a better way to do it than do it right here at State Fair when we have a representation of basically everybody from every city in the state. Roundy's has stores basically located throughout the entire state, and we felt the visibility through State Fair would be extremely good. Mm-hmm. We started planning this thing, just talking what might happen, and what actually ended up was that we came up with what we think to be one of the most exciting days of the fair, Roundy's Food Day.
Mm-hmm. And you can intend to continue that?
I hope so, and next year we hope possibly to make it bigger and better.
Right. So, but reality, it took a long time and many hours and meetings, didn't it, to arrange for this?
Yes, it started out in an office. We talked about what could happen. From there it went to what we'd like to do, and we came off with what we think to be a fun-filled day of starting with the coffee cake this morning. You're going to see some of the cook-off that we had, the first amateur barbecue contest that Wisconsin State Fair has ever seen. We even went into something a little bit unique in the grocery cart races. We had that running for about 2 hours this afternoon on the Midway.
Let's see. Well, you've just talked about the items that you were involved with there and actually coordinating them. And we have a tape which we made. I suppose you saw some of our crew out there.
You bet.
And we're going to go to that tape, and what we'd like you to do is the same as Rick did, if you would sort of talk over it and fill us in with the details of what went on.
Very fine.
There are all types of foods being cooked here in all different combinations, and we're here with one of our contestants, and I'd like to have your name, please.
My name is Mark Marhol.
Yes, Mark Marble. Have you participated in this type of event before?
No, this is my first time.
This is your first time. Well, you have a delicious-looking platter here. I don't know if we're going to let you get it all the way up to be judged or not, but would you explain to our audience just what is involved here? What type of food?
What I prepared there, number one, it's my own recipe. I call it a gourmet tenderloin. It's a prime cut of tenderloin that has been aged for approximately a week and a half in a maple box, which is very, very important. And then also I marinate it with olive oil and salt and pepper, and that soaks through. I make it at a medium rare because that's the best way to have it. After that, what I do is I mix in Worcestershire sauce, blue cheese, garlic, salt, a little bit of pepper, and chives, and the last 10 minutes of cooking, I put that on top until it melts. And then what I do is decorate it with a shish kebab, as you can see here, where there is zucchini, there is squash, there is peppers, there are tomatoes, there are onions, and that's your vegetable portion of the meal. And then for dessert, we have a bunch of excellent fruits there.
Oh yeah, the strawberries, the grapes, the pineapple. It's quite a combination there.
Yeah.
Sure. You have the whole meal right together there. Well,
That's right.
Well, we have one more contestant here, and she just come back with
Hi, I'm Brad. This is a Cajun meatloaf.
with a participant
On the mild side because
prize here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, this is the first one, so I don't know.
This is the
just
first judging.
The first judging, right? And might go through to get to the finals then? Is that the idea?
Yes.
Well, that's very good. Could you give us your name, please?
My name is Mary Winetka.
Mary Winetka.
Yes.
And where are you from, Mary?
I'm from Manitowish Waters.
Manitowish. Oh, gee. So I guess that all the people aren't local here.
I've been living here for about 5 years.
Oh, 5 years. You're
Yeah.
living in Milwaukee
I
now
live in
for 5
Milwaukee.
years. Well, there are so many varieties of food here. It would seem to me it would be kind of hard for the judges to figure out just which one is going to get in the prize. But I guess that's one of the problems.
There are some excellent dishes here. It's just people have a lot of imagination.
Have you gone over some of the others and some of the others that you would like?
Yes, there's some stiff competition here. There's a meatloaf that is just incredible. It's being judged right now.
I see.
Everyone has used a lot of imagination. We're all having a good time. There's a lot of camaraderie. It's a lot of fun.
Would you like to tell us about your dish that you entered in the contest here? How do you prepare it, and what are the ingredients?
Okay, it's a Korean dish called bulgogi. It's a flank steak that's marinated in sesame seed, sesame oil, soy sauce, a lot of garlic, green onions, and it's cooked on that, which is the hibachi. It's a Korean hibachi.
Oh yes, I've heard of that. It's a
And
small. It's a small.
It's a very small one.
But it still does the job.
It does a beautiful job. Very hot fire.
Sure.
And it's just cooked very quickly, seared on each side.
Do you enjoy this dish at home?
Oh, I love it.
You
I
love
love
it at home, huh?
Yeah.
And serve it to your guests. I suppose they think they're in some other country when you look south. You say, hey, where are we? I've never seen anything like this before.
Korean is very similar to Chinese cooking.
Oh, I see.
So most people think it's Chinese, but it's not. It's Korean.
Is something normally then that you would serve with a rice dish or some other combination?
Yes, you would serve this with rice normally and vegetable or a vegetable
Long
medley.
grain rice, as they call it. That's
Yes.
what the Orientals use. I don't know why it's better, but they seem to like it.
Incidentally, my father brought that hibachi back from Korea when he was in the war. It's been in our attic.
Oh, indeed.
It's never been used until today.
Well, Jim, that was part of one of the events that that you handled and took care of. We were over there, actually. Our crew was over there, and we wondered were there any requirements for the preparation or the type of food that could be used?
Okay, Jimmy, this, again, was sponsored in conjunction with Roundy's by the Wisconsin Beef Council. So needless to say, beef was the primary ingredient. The registrations took place at our Roundy or Roundy member stores, including our Pick and Save stores. The contestant would go into the store and pick up a State Fair contest for the cookout. They would mail this into State Fair, and they would include in that return a ticket for entry, some barbecue, a coupon for some Roundy briquettes, and from then on it was basically on their own talents. The day's activity started this morning here about 6:30 when I saw them lighting the fires and beginning their cooking. The judging took place from 10 until noon. There was a panel of judges consisting of Jonathan Green from WTMJ. There was a gentleman, a professor from the University of Wisconsin, and of course the flamboyant Chef Tell.
Right.
Chef Tell is also here for that particular event.
Well, all those things make a good program. I guess that's why it came out the way it did. Now we're going to go to the tape that I announced before, and this time it's going to go on. This one will be about,
The grocery cart races.
the grocery cart race.
This event took place in front of the administration building. As you can see here, Willie B. Bacon, one of the State Fair mascots, began the contest in competition with Violet the cow, and we'll see Violet here in a minute. But the object was to run the obstacle course, picking up various Roundy grocery products, throwing them literally into the cart, and making it to the end of the obstacle course. Once on the other side of the finish line, the winner was declared, and in turn would be receiving a certificate for a free half-gallon of ice cream. There you see Violet running. Unfortunately, Violet came in a far second, and Willie B. Bacon was the winner of this heat. It was basically designed for a two-person heat. Once you ran it, you were finished, the winner being selected immediately. There was some 350 contestants, and we ran this contest for 2 hours this afternoon and had people just waiting and waiting to get in line to do it. As you can see, this lady kind of backs into things. She's using no list, I might add, and those are the kind of customers we like to see come to Roundy's. Those customers that come in and just buy. She'll have one of those too, if you notice, and there's another one. She likes paper towels. Just take them all. Run, run, run with the paper towels. Hurry up now. You got to go around this way, ma'am. Over here. Checkout number 1 is open. And she was the winner.
Well,
that was a lot of fun, believe me.
Yeah, well, I saw part of that also. And about how many contestants?
About 350 were there,
Oh.
paired off in two, so we had about 175 heats.
Boy,
And at the heat of the day, it was very hot.
some of the obstacles weren't that easy. I saw one lady, I thought she was really going to go sleighing when she hit sort of a ramp with the cart.
Well, there was a sand trap, there was a ramp, there were barrels to go through, there was tires, any number of things to make the difficult time shopping.
Mm-hmm.
We like to think that those people that participated today could manage most anything on any day. If they come shopping, they'd have an easy time with it at any of our stores because they're a lot less congested for sure.
Oh, that's for certain.
You bet.
They won't find those obstacles when you go to the store because it's built in so that you won't have anything like that.
We hope not.
Now, was this? I thought originally that there were going to be a lot of children involved. Was that?
Well, the Scouts were involved. The Scouts, fortunately, were there to help us to set the course initially and then to keep maintaining it. A lot of comments were made, too, about in this day and age about the amount of food that was there, and some of it was abused. The food that was used for this particular event is going to be collected and then donated to Second Harvesters, which is a food pantry here in the city of Milwaukee that basically serves a 5-county area in assisting the families of needy people for the foodstuffs. So all the food that was there today, that was used there, will be given through the Boy Scouts to the Second Harvester.
And did you mention that the participants who won or were involved with a prize, that they received a certificate for a certain amount of food? Or?
Right. Each person that entered the contest received a Roundy sun visor as a token prize, and then the winner of each heat was given a certificate to redeem at any Roundy member store for a half-gallon of our Old Time ice cream.
Fine. Well, I appreciate your coming here, Jim Popke.
Thank you for asking
the
us.
rest of your crew for being here. I think it turned out to be a pretty nice program, at least we hope it did. And I wish to thank all the members of the West Allis community programmers. And at the end, I'd like you specifically to watch for a montage at the close of the show prepared by our producer, Dave Vieg. Thanks for being with us, and be with us again tomorrow.